This is a hint to help you with the learning activity attached to the while loops tutorial. So basically we're looking at some old school division here. There are 52 cards in a deck. All the cards are dealt out so that each player gets the same number of cards. The remaining cards are then placed face down in the discard pile. How many cards go to each player and how many cards will be face down in the discard pile? So you're dealing out to, let's just say, 7 players. So the first thing we're going to do to solve this is we need, you can see it's going to print out the answer here nicely in words as you would expect to in a maths. And after that we'll go through a further example of what we're doing here. So we need some cards, and the cards is equal to 52. And we're going to put in a test variable that we know is not going to work as a 52. We're going to do players is equal to 7. So there are 7 players, there are 52 cards. I know that 52 does not go into 7. If I put 4, it would make this a bit too difficult to test. So if I want to figure out how many cards each I get, so I'm going to create a cards each variable. And the cards each variable is going to be equal to cards divided by players. That makes sense, yeah? So then I can replace this here with this section here, and I can say plus str, and I can say cards each, and close that bracket and do a plus sign there. And if we run this, we'll get something that doesn't really help us, but it starts to solve the problem. So run without debugging. Okay, each player gets 7.4285, that number there, cards. Okay, so that's not a helpful thing because you can't have that many cards, because if you did that, you'd wreck your deck. So you'd have to cut each card into 0.42857, whatever it is, equal parts, which is really hard to do. So we need to actually get the string part, sorry, the integer part of that card. There's an easy way to sort of do this, is we can say that there's a decimal part of that number, and we can set that equal to, before we do that, we have to be able to understand this. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to import, this is a math problem, I'm going to import something called math. That will basically import some functions that I can use to do some nice mathematics. The first one I'm going to say is that cards each, let's just set that equal to math.floor, and I'm going to floor the cards each. So I'm going to basically destroy cards each and set it equal to math.floor. And what math.floor is it rounds any number down. So if it was 7.9, it would round it down to 7. If it was 7.1, it would round it down to 7. So regardless of what it does, it basically cuts off the decimal place. So that should solve that problem of how many cards I've got. If I run that, I now have 7 cards each, and that makes sense. But it doesn't tell me how many cards are left over. So before I destroy this cards each variable, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to say the decimal part is going to be equal to cards each minus the math.floor cards each. And if I put that in here, okay, so plus str, and let's just put in the decimal part for the time being. This is not going to work. We know this is not going to work because it's just going to give me the decimal part. So I'm going to go run, and I'm going to run without debugging. So there will be 7 cards, and there will be that doesn't make sense. That's actually wrong because it's that number multiplied by 7. So let's actually try that. So let's just create another variable called discards, and the discards will be equal to the number of players multiplied by that decimal part. And let's just print out the discards now. Okay, so let's run that and see how we go. Run without debugging. And you'll see that I get 3, but it's 3 point, all those zeros, and 0.18. So you'd be tempted to say, oh, it's going to be equal to discards, decimal part, and then we multiply it by, so we just floor the discards. But it's not a good idea to do that. There is actually a better way to achieve both of these things. So we can actually leave these cards each. That works. But we can actually say discards, rather than actually using this one here. I'll just comment this out. And I'm going to copy it. No, actually not even going to bother copy it. I'm going to say discards is equal to cards percent players. And this is a really nice, neat function because what it does is it does that division of cards by players, and it just gives a remainder. And that is a nice, really useful thing. So let's just see how it's done there. So there, it's now actually rounded it down to 3 cards nicely. So we've got the answer to A and B down here. Now this percent sign is otherwise short for saying modulo, and modulo basically gets me that number as the division of those two, the remainder of that division. Now how is this useful otherwise? Let's have a look at that. So I'm going to use a while loop to do this. I'm going to counter, and I'm going to set the counter equal to 0. Let's just say I want to print out every value of the counter in increments of 3. So basically I'm going to say, I could say counter plus equals 3, and then say print counter and run it, and that'll give me the increments of 3, I believe. No, counter plus, oh, I didn't do the while loop, did I? While counter, let's just go less than 20. Now we run it. So it's giving me all those numbers there, less than 20. Believe it or not, it's going to 21. So that's one way of doing that, but that can be not good because I might need to be looking at every single thing. So I might need to look through and do a lot of other things. Say for example, I'm playing a game and I want my character to actually fire off a bullet every 600 times or 300 times this code goes, or even 50 times. So the code fires through, the while loop goes through, and every 50th time I want something else to happen. I want it to fire a bullet or something like that. I can do it better by actually adding it by 1, and then I can say if, and I can say counter %3 is equal to 0, and that will basically give me that function of if it's the remainder of the division of those two numbers, counter, and 3 is 0, it's going to be a factor of 3 is going to be a factor of it. So basically that will work. So if I actually run it the same way, you can see that you've got, oops, I've got something here. I needed to put that there. Should know this. Run without debugging. And there you go. You get the same thing, and I don't get the extra 21 that I was looking for before as well. So that's going to work quite well, and that is how you use the modulo to actually run a piece of code a certain number of times, or to test if something actually is going to fit into something else. And it's a fairly common sort of thing, and in your example you're going to have to use it to figure out if a number is prime or not.